So I might be eating out for the first time this weekend, and I'm not 100% sure how I feel about it. So I just got home from picking up the kids, about to log into work. But on the way home, we had a discussion. There's a few restaurants on our way home, and one of them is Chili's. Let me tell you, I love me some Chili's. It's one of my major binge food meals, places to eat. And one of the kids was like, I love Chili's. Just out of nowhere. And I said, I love Chili's too. And they were like, maybe we should have Chili's for dinner tonight. Or maybe we should make it a special meal like tomorrow, a special thing we do tomorrow. And of course I went into an internal panic just because I haven't eaten out in like 2.5 months. And you know, I have a tiny stomach and I'm not sure what to have and whatever. So we got home, the kids went into the house, I walked the dog, and while I was walking the dog I was on DoorDash because I was like, okay, so what do they have now? Like, what is on their menu? And I was looking at their sides, and a lot of them are like carb based. They do have like a side salad, but I'm like, I haven't had salad at all since surgery, so I'm like, I'm nervous about having lettuce and how that's gonna feel, if I'm gonna immediately have a reaction to it or whatever. And but they don't have a lot, like it's a lot of potatoes and like they do have some corn, they have like the steamed broccoli and stuff, but they don't have like, you know how some places they have like a side of meat and then they have a side of veg and a side of carb and whatever. Like they have no side of any protein that I can really have, which is really disappointing. Unless I just have broccoli, I guess. So I was kind of looking at the menu, and then I was looking at the chicken options because I was like, I remember back in the day there was like a chicken option where you'd have like chicken and mashed potatoes and then a side of like steamed broccoli. And they have like a margarita chicken, and I'm like, I don't want to have to deal with all the pico and beans and everything else. And then I was looking at the salads, and of course it was like Santa Fe something or other with like the Mexican theme, which is fine. But I'm like, I just want something that's a little more plain. And then I was looking at the steak, and I'm like, I don't know if I really want to have steak. So I'm just kind of like going through these feelings of like, at some point I have to venture out and do something. So I did find on the menu, and I wrote it down. But they have a deluxe grilled chicken sandwich that has like grilled chicken, Swiss cheese, bacon, and then of course like mayo, tomato, lettuce or whatever. And then they have like the deluxe grilled, not grilled chicken, the breaded chicken version of it with the same stuff. And I was like, okay, so if we were to go there, I could have that sandwich. I could have the grilled option sandwich and just not eat the bread and get a side of broccoli. And then I would definitely snag a fry or two from my family, no doubt. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, but I'm like, I don't know if we're doing this and if we're gonna go there, but I know I'm gonna have to think about this because at some point I'm gonna have to go somewhere and we're gonna go out to eat, and I don't know. So we'll see if we go to Chili's tonight or if we go tomorrow or if we don't do any of that. I don't know what's gonna happen. I feel better though, knowing that I have kind of a plan, but I am disappointed that they don't have some more protein options for me that are doable. But you know, I do need to try some lettuce at some point too, because I think that would be positive. But anyway, we'll see what happens. So just a quick update. My husband just took the kids to practice, and it sounds like there was mention of Chili's. So it's looking like it's happening today. And it's so weird to feel nervous about it. You have no idea how many times I've eaten Chili's and how many times I've had Chili's delivered to the house, but it sounds like we're eating Chili's. So I have decided though, like if we have it delivered to the house, I'm not going to partake in it. If we're going there, then I'll eat it. But if we're just having it delivered to the house, I'm not going to eat it. Because I want to like save it for like when we actually go somewhere. So I'm also really tempted to get a Diet Coke, but we'll see. I'm nervous. So to give you an idea of what I'm looking at, this is the deluxe grilled chicken sandwich. And that's kind of what I'm thinking about doing if we go. Is this really happening? Oh my gosh. All right, it looks like this is happening. I'm going out to dinner for the first time since surgery. The husband just called and said they're on their way here. They should be here in a couple of minutes. I actually found some other options that might be okay. So let's see how this goes. Well, we're home now. Can't believe that I ate out, and I'm kind of impressed with how it went. Very, very happy with what I chose. Definitely gonna get something different next time. So what we ended up ordering was the fajita. So it was a fajita for one, basically, a one person, supposedly. But it was like you can choose 2 proteins instead of just 1. And I was like, let's get that. Because then we can have steak and we can have chicken. And he can have the steak and all the peppers and the rice and the cheese and the sour cream and the guacamole and all the extra beans and whatever else it comes with. I would take the chicken off of the plate. And I had that chicken, plus I ordered a side of steamed broccoli, and then I ordered a side of fries too because I wanted fries. So as I was eating, I made sure to eat the protein first and the broccoli before I had any French fries, which is basically what I've been doing when I had like the tater tots. And considering I've had like, well, they're tater rounds. Considering I've had those, I didn't think the fries would be horrible. Or that my body would react really badly, but I wanted to make sure that I had like the chicken and the broccoli, like I said, before I had any French fries. I also ordered, had a side of honey mustard and ranch because I wanted to like test out to see how everything tasted in that. I know how French fries taste in that. And I ended up with leftovers, which you just saw in the video. So I can have that tomorrow. And I have to figure out how to heat it all up in the air fryer, but I think it'll be okay. And we'll try it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, and that's fine. I'm not gonna be mad. I'm just more happy that I was able to like come up with a plan and then come up with multiple plans and then be able to execute it. And it was nice to be able to split something with my husband. It probably saved us $10 or something like that. Anyway, so yeah, so I still think the chicken sandwich option would be a good option for me in the future. the deluxe grilled chicken sandwich. I still have it written down here. Just not eat the bread and get steamed broccoli with it, and then nibble fries off of somebody else's plate. But people actually have to have fries on their plate because I actually had to order a side this time. Another option that I found was they have boneless wings, and then they had them in like barbecue mild, which is probably more my speed. I'm not really spicy, even mild spicy is not really my speed. And I was like, you can get an order of 8 of those for an appetizer. I could have maybe 4 of them, a side of broccoli, and maybe a few french fries and dipping sauces to just have a little bit of dipping sauce, and it would have been fine. I think that would be a really good option, which I probably will do next time. And then the other option, of course, is like getting like a bacon cheeseburger and just not having the bread. I haven't had beef. I don't think I've had any beef. I think I've only had, I'm trying to think. I've had ham, I've had turkey, I've had chicken, but I haven't had like even ground beef. I haven't had all ground chicken. So I don't know how my body's gonna react when I actually have beef. And I'm really wanted to order a side salad because I'm super curious about how my body's gonna react to that too, but I didn't do that either. That also could have been a good option if if I knew how lettuce and stuff was gonna settle in my stomach. It would have been a good thing to have like a side salad and add that chicken to the side salad. Could have been an option. So we'll see, but I'm just very thankful for how it went. I'm very happy with my choices. I'm glad I stopped eating when I did. I probably could have put down a couple of the fries that I had at the end, but I did really good, I think. So I think the biggest thing when you're eating out, especially at the very beginning, is to plan ahead if you can. Look at the menu ahead of time. I think it was last weekend after church, we had a discussion about what we were having for lunch, and they were like, let's go out, whatever. And I was just like, nope, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. When I went out for my husband's birthday, like I wanted to go for my husband's birthday, but it was 3 weeks in. I was not in a place to be at that restaurant. And I was like, last weekend, I was like, no, I'm not ready. I think the best thing you can do to start out is to, if you know you're going somewhere, check out the menu, figure out some options, see if you can split with somebody, figure out a way to make sure you have your protein first, and if you can have a vegetable, and then if you want to have like some mashed potatoes or for french fries, like it depends on your stomach and where you're at in your journey and what you can tolerate and all that stuff. Like I'm not a I'm not a nutritionist, I'm not a doctor. But planning ahead is the biggest thing. The other thing I think would be really good, which I plan on doing probably this weekend. I don't plan on eating out a lot. Like I don't want this to be a thing of like, now I have the license to go and eat whatever I want, wherever I want, all the time. I don't want that to be, this is my new life. I don't want to do that. However, I want to be prepared. Like if we're going somewhere and we're on our way home and I haven't eaten for a few hours and I need to have something and we're, whatever, like I need to make a list of options at different places so I'm prepared for when that happens. And then I want to be able to get myself a treat occasionally. Like, it's fast food can be a treat potentially. But I just want to be prepared. I think if I have any advice at all, it's plan ahead. And especially for your first time out after surgery, like don't wing it, because you're going to stress yourself out, and you're going to make choices that, you may end up making choices that you wish you would have made different ones in the end, if that makes any sense. I don't want you to go out and end up having a bunch of regret because you ate some stuff that you shouldn't have because you didn't plan ahead and didn't think about it and you weren't ready. Today I felt ready. Today I felt like, okay, it's time to take a step. It's time to do this and just test it out and see how it goes. So I feel like it went really well, and Not gonna lie, I'm excited about doing it again at some point. I get to have lunch with my friends again. But guaranteed, I will be planning ahead. I will look at the menu ahead of time as much as I can. I'll figure out the macros as much as I can, because I want this new life to be a successful one. Like, this isn't a diet. I had surgery, yes. My eating's different, yes, but this isn't a diet. This is a new way of life, and I'm going to embrace that. So, we survived our first time going out to eat, and I'm very, very thankful. Hi guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I appreciate it so much. I would love to hear from you. Please comment below, like, comment, share, do all the YouTube-y things. Supports the channel, and I really appreciate that. And I hope you have an awesome day. Bye.